Now it is.
There we are. Okay. Welcome, Joanne. Today we have Joanne and Joanne.
Yeah, very powerful combination right there. Joe and Joe.
Yeah. Joanne McFax or JoJo Talks. You can find her YouTube there, which we're live streaming to at the moment. Do a live stream. So fun.
Yes.
And if anybody wants to come on the show with me, humphreys.creom.net is my website. And today we're going to dive deep into the living waters of plasma therapy, Amaroli, Orina, Shivambu. These are all the same words for what is otherwise known as urine therapy. Yes, that's right. You heard us correctly.
Yes. Like cue in the ick factor. Ooh, urine therapy? Like, what's wrong, right? What's wrong with these girls?
Yeah, we had a great conversation last week, and we just thought, oh, let's continue this flow. So,
Yeah.
how about you dive in, Joe?
Well, absolutely. And thanks, Joe, for getting together again to talk on this topic because I feel that it's really, really important, especially since we're fighting against a washed society in respects to how to take best care of your body. So just having this understanding that our body can actually provide its own medicine, to me, changed everything. And I feel that, especially with what's going on in the world, that people actually need to have an answer to some of the struggles that they may be facing. So I was absolutely thrilled to have this experience and this conversation with you again, and perhaps having many more, because people are actually asking for this information. So I'm thinking that there are people that have open hearts, they have an open mind to this, and it's not going to be for everybody because, as we all know, people have different levels of understanding. And so I am just excited to talk to you about this again today. And I know we perhaps talked about having PowerPoint presentation probably in the future, but today I actually have a couple of things that I want to talk about. Like, first of all, I'm going to read from some of the screenshots that I had sent you to say, like, what is actually urine if it's a waste product. And before we go, Joe, like before I start, I hear a lot of resonance in the background where you're at. I don't know if there's a
Oh,
I don't know if there's a fan or something going on.
yeah. Hang
Yeah,
on 1 second. I'll
yeah.
I'll I'll deal with that. I'm gonna just mute me, and you go ahead.
Okay, I
I'll
could.
still hear.
Okay, perfect. All right. So some people were wondering, like, if urine is actually a waste product, and let's talk a little bit about that. The liver removes all toxins and pathogens from the blood. The kidneys receive the purified blood and regulates the amount of salts, vitamins, minerals, hormones, enzyme, amino acids, and water. Urine is a snapshot of everything that's going on in your body and what it needs exactly in the right proportions for you. So, so another thing, urine is your actual lifeblood. Urine is your blood plasma, and as Joe, you had titled your live stream is actually blood plasma. And the last time we had a conversation, we talked about what the actual medical term is for that, and it is plasma ultrafiltrate.
Yeah.
And right, and it also is the amniotic fluid is urine. Firstly, that's where the mother, we actually were swimming in urine, right? When I found that
Yeah.
out, I'm like, oh, okay. So why would we in our mother's womb, if urine is so awful, if it's an actual waste product, then why was urine or blood filtrate utilized to bring you forth,
Yeah.
right?
And it's interesting when you look at the plumbing of men, like the seed that's coming in to impregnate the woman comes
Mm.
through the same outlet that urine comes out of.
Wow.
So
Mm.
this is a clean thing. This is a very clean thing. When people speak to me about one of the things that kind of comes up a lot is, oh, well, if you don't have a clean diet, then you shouldn't drink your plasma,
Right.
which isn't actually true. You can always drink your plasma. It's a much cleaner version of whatever it was that you put into your mouth to begin with. So if you're afraid of your urine, your plasma, you should be very, if you're afraid of that, you should do something about what you're putting into your mouth. Like, if
Right.
it scares you that much, that should be a little alarm for you to
Yeah,
maybe do something about your diet.
an
Yeah.
indication. It's amazing how, but see, it's again fighting against the brainwashing that we've all been indoctrinated,
Yes.
right?
And
Simply with
if you want to know what you're doing to your body, have a sip of your plasma. Break that fear barrier and actually make contact with what's going on with your body and what you're going to taste your food again. Like, it's crazy, hey? So for people who are really serious about starting on plasma therapy or urine therapy, I often say to them, do a 1 day juice fast and then like start, and you'll taste that fresh juice
right.
again. And if you can even experiment around with this, have something salty, which I don't actually kind of recommend. Salt is a
I love
protoplasmic
salt.
poison. I don't even eat salt anymore. But
No,
yeah, so
no, it was interesting, Joe, because like actually when I was listening to some of your podcasts and actually was joining you on X at one point, you talked about how you transitioned away from salt because of actually you're tasting it and your body tells you, oh, your taste buds will tell you. Um,
yeah.
but one thing too that we're also fighting against is that our taste buds have been attacked for decades based
Mm,
on the foods and the chemicals and everything that we've ingested over time. And it's
yes.
actually to start rewiring our taste buds, I guess. I suppose if I can say it that way, to kind of
Hmm.
go, what's actually good for us? Not everything that tastes good is good for us, like sugar.
Yeah.
How good is like refined white sugar?
What sugar is actually like a class 5 drug if you
Oh,
go by there. Yeah, and very addictive. And same with salt. Salt
right.
is super addictive. Do you want to come
Well,
into the stage? Sorry.
that's okay. Um, I would agree. I didn't have that much of a tough time kicking the salt as opposed to kicking the sugar. Like that, like I don't eat refined sugars or anything like that, but I found that if I wanted to stray away from actually sugars or fruits, my body goes, "Hey, hello, I want sweets, sweets, sweets." So it's very
Yeah,
it's but some people do prefer having salt. So I can see how that could be really, really difficult, especially for the addiction, right?
yeah,
So yeah, so I wanted to keep going in respects to some of the PowerPoints, and I'm really sorry, everybody,
yeah.
that I can't share that right
Well,
now.
we're gonna sort that out.
Yeah, in the future, we're going to sort that out, and possibly I'll make a post on YouTube as well as on Facebook to kind of link this, and also, Joel, I'll connect it to your channel too.
Cool.
One of the topics was, is urine dirty or smelly?
Well,
Well,
if your diet is dirty and smelly, then your urine will be dirty and smelly.
right? But
If your
even
diet is clean and then your plasma will be clean. It's so revealing. This therapy really shows you like up close and personal what you're doing to your body with your diet. It's really
right,
powerful. So like sip cycling is really something I've done since the beginning. Even when I go out and eat something that I know I shouldn't be eating, when I
mm,
when I do my next cycle, I'm like, okay, let's see what's going on and take a sip of that and get that feedback. And
right,
yeah, you'll learn a lot about what your body wants
hmm,
and what your body doesn't want just by tapping into that flavor, that taste.
right,
Super
right,
powerful.
and
But there's
and
never you're never going to hurt yourself. This therapy is so safe.
right,
You really can't.
right.
There's no wrong way to do it.
No. Well, thank you for sharing that, Joe. It's as you shared, having the diet, the stronger the diet, or the more the more chemical ingredients you eat, you're going to taste that, right? And this changes your whole dynamic of the relationship with your body completely.
Yeah, like as Olivier is saying here, we don't really drink shivambu. We we drink water. We're really putting our blood back into the body. Yeah.
Right.
And
Right.
this really takes care of like that that craving for meat that we have. It really satiates that. It really takes care of that.
And it
And it's
takes
really leftovers, like all our blood carries all of the things that we need to be here.
to sustain ourselves.
Yeah.
To
And
really
so
sustain.
it's really leftovers. That's where our hormones are. That's where our leftover nutrients go. All of this stuff that your body doesn't need at that moment.
Right.
And the it's also our urine is also like a like an equalizer. Like if you don't for fluid retention. And it's interesting once you start, it's like a trigger that you start in your body. Like if you have a lot of inflammation and you start doing this, it's like a trigger for your body to be able to manage that fluid retention more.
Mm.
And if you don't urinate a lot, if you don't pass a lot, you'll find that once you start drinking, you actually produce more. It's
Mm.
like magical filtration system, super powerful.
Right. It's I've noticed that since I've been consuming and reintroducing it into my body, like my anxiety has been gone,
Yeah,
completely gone. And I used to really crave chocolate and love chocolate, and now and or sweets. Don't have that anymore.
yeah,
Absolutely
it
not.
helps with a lot of addictions.
Right.
Just because of that information that you're getting back to yourself. It's a
Mm.
great way to come, like, they use this. A lot of, there used to be urine therapy places that you could go to, but a lot of them are now private or like they've been closed down. This is powerful information. This is super powerful healing. So they use this for hard drug addictions because you're like
Right.
titrating yourself off naturally with your own fluids. When you put this into your body, you're not putting something foreign into your body. You're putting something into your body that your body is fully aware of.
Right.
It's not a foreign matter. Like
No.
everything else we put into our mouth, food wise, is foreign to the
That's
body.
right.
It's not of the body, but this is actually of the body. So, yeah,
And
really powerful. And I think
right.
it's helped me with, I'm 50 this year. I still have
Oh, look it.
this is my third year of plasma therapy. And I'm still, my period, my cycle is like more regulated.
Wow.
Cramping is way like less. Like my whole cycle has really like stabilized, I'll say.
Wow.
And my flow is super light and I mean everything just feels good
You
in
feel
that
aligned,
respect. And this hormone, it's like being on hormone therapy
right?
or stem cell therapy. And I mean, we all know how expensive. Well, some of us know how expensive those therapies are. It's crazy. Some of the
Mhm.
most expensive therapies that these companies sell are from urine. They're harvested from this.
Right.
So
Well, it just makes
yeah,
me think of how the pharmaceutical companies actually own porta potties.
yes,
Porta potty to collect
yeah,
this free stuff and then
yeah,
take it out, separate it, and then
yeah,
mix it up and then resell it to you, and you
yeah.
actually produce that. I
And
found
it's crazy, hey?
Yeah, it's to me it was just like a ding a ding a ding. Like all the more reason to go, oh, like I'm gonna just screw you then. I'm gonna just ingest this if you're taking this out of me and then making it as a profit. So
Yeah.
I actually have this, Joe, you were talking about like hormone therapy, you're talking about stem cells. I would love to share with our viewers more of why we should put this back into you. Okay.
Mm.
Some of them are SPU hormones, which is an antibiotic, analgesic, immune system booster. It has growth hormones, immunoglobulin. It generates virus and bacteria antibodies. Interferon boosts immune system, inhibits cancer cells. Ganodrop. Oh, sorry. Okay, let's go. Hold on. Ganzotrophin. There you go. Sorry, my French thing is coming up. Stimulates hormone production. Urokinase dissolves blood clots. How
Yeah,
many people
that.
have struggled with blood clots? Right? Antineoplastin helps cure cancer. Prostaglandins conditions the blood, arteries, and the veins. Urea, effective against bacteria and tuberculosis, epidermal growth factors, reconstruction and reproduction of wounded cells and organisms. This is actually one of the main key ingredients for skincare.
Yeah, and it's in
Correct.
eye drops and ear drops.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, skincare. I heard that that's where the moisturizing comes from. Urea.
Yes.
So
Hmm.
if I would actually say to anybody watching, if you have skincare, creams or anything like that in your house, take a look and
Yeah.
start to
You're
start to
putting
look.
someone else's plasma on your body or some other animal. They also harvest this from pigs
Yeah, interesting. Push
and
this away for Cameron.
horses.
Yeah. Yeah. So why would we?
Female horses in particular. I think it's actually pregnant female horses for that they
Uh,
use for thyroid medication for women who are going through menopause. I mean, it's just crazy. Just take
and
your own. Just take your own. And how they take this from animals is really sad, especially the horses. It's
well,
really,
yeah, and
yeah.
see all the more. So they lie to you about what your blood plasma really is, and then
Hmm.
they harm
Yeah.
on the outside to get to profit from.
Yeah.
And that alone, that just drives me just, off
Yeah.
the rails for that kind of stuff. So, but I'm glad I'm taking it. I'm drinking my own because then it regulates me. It puts me in a
Mm.
better frequency. It actually also has endorphins. It has painkillers, mood enhancer, and energy booster. It has calcium, sodium, copper, iodine, magnesium, zinc, amino acids, vitamin A, B, C, and E. And it
That
also
it's a
creates
huge
enzymes.
list. Yeah, there's actually a place in Alberta that studies plasma, and they have identified like over 6,000 plus different things in our beneficial things in our plasma. It's really mind blowing. We are magically created beings. I mean,
Right.
it blew me away when I discovered when I came into this knowledge. I was just like, wow,
Yeah,
what a divine creation.
absolutely.
Um, yeah, it's
The,
pretty
the body
mind
can
blowing.
self-sustain, and it reactivates energy. It reactivates your frequency. Actually, it
Yes,
elevates your frequency. And I
yeah,
know that that's not really spoken about in the medical world because it's all about biology, and it's we are shifting into another mindset in order to actually to know the truth, right? You have to raise up your frequency and your level of understanding and not stay at low levels.
yeah.
So I'm but I do want to stipulate that both Joanne and I are not medical professionals, and we are only sharing information, and we would recommend that you guys do your own research and to seek medical professional help if you need to.
Yeah, I really think direct experience is the best experience. And I really, we can rhyme off all these things that they say are in it, but
Right.
and we can talk about stem cells and whatever.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, it's really how I feel, how
Right.
it makes me feel, and the results
Yes.
that I'm getting from it. Like
Mhm.
throw the textbook out Rub some on the back of your hand for a few days and see what results you get. Put it on a wound. See what
Yes,
results you get. Do a
right.
foot soak on some
That's right.
old calluses you have on your feet and see what results you
Right.
get. Because
That's right.
I have never had any substance provide me such amazing results as this has. I mean, it just blows every other
That's right.
thing, every other, like, modality out of the water. It's just
Right.
funny to say.
Yeah, out of the water. Yeah, it's been amazing. Like for myself, when I shared on the other live video, I had learned about it back in 2010 and had the Your Body's Perfect Medicine. And it was really technical, and I didn't have that flow, nor did I have any community. But it was really
Mm,
until I had like an infection. And an infection, guys, is not your body going against you. It's not sick. It's actually detoxing. So
mm,
we also have to deprogram how we've been taught our body functions in this world. Okay. So
right.
when you catch a cold, why do you think they can't figure out to heal the common cold? Why can't they figure that out after
Yeah, these common
years?
colds are like a seasonal detox that our bodies kind of naturally go through. We have these natural
Exactly.
cycles, and plasma therapy does trigger that. It will trigger
Right.
your body into a detox. The nebulizer that I showed you last time we spoke,
Yes.
I've laid off now for the last 2 days, but I had so much like coughing chunks of old junky phlegm come up. Even still this morning I was coughing, and
Wow.
Olivier's like, "Are you going to be able to are you going to be able to speak this morning?" And I was like, "Hang on, I got a remedy for that." And I took some of my fresh plasma and mixed in some aged and just on a teaspoon and
Yeah.
like snorted it up each nose, and it just like,
Right.
okay, let me just get this cleared out.
Right.
Yeah, it's amazing. So
And it
you can trigger yourself to go into a detox. And
absolutely.
often that is what happens when people first, especially if, I mean, you can speed things up or slow things down. Just depends on how much you ingest.
Right.
So if you want to do a big detox and do a plasma fast, you can do that, but be ready if it's your first time. Be ready
Right.
to be at home and relaxing so that you can,
Right. Well,
go through that.
just to add to what you're sharing, Joe, to say if somebody wants to start this, how do they actually start? What would be some of the recommendations that you would share with people that are beginners?
How would you start beginners?
Yeah.
Start by just collecting it. And I say just collect it. Observe it. Don't discharge into the toilet. Discharge into a container and actually look at what it is at your body, what's coming out of your body.
Hmm.
Smell it. Put your finger in it. Put a little bit on the back of your hand,
Right.
you know?
Right.
Observe what happens over a few days. And then I love how the Dharma Tantra says this: drinking it joyfully,
Mm,
willingly, and joyfully. Put some
mm,
of your positive energy into that, and yeah, just be curious about what your body is capable of doing.
right.
Yeah.
And when you're collecting it, we always recommend to let a little bit go first and collect the midstream, and then
Mm.
let the little leftovers at the at the end, right?
Yeah.
So let the flow go first for a couple of seconds, then collect the midstream,
Yeah,
and
they do say midstream, but I mean, I actually, and I did do midstream for a while, but I
don't doesn't matter
actually
anymore.
don't anymore.
Okay, well,
I mean, I
and
get it. I get that
there's nothing
theory,
wrong.
but yeah,
There's
you
there's
can't
nothing
really
wrong
hurt
with
yourself
you
with
can't
it. No.
exactly. You can't really screw this up, right? So
Yeah.
as Joe said, to start off that.
At the beginning, maybe I was more like cognizant of that, like more
Right.
picky about that, but 3 years in, I feel my body so much. I don't even call it, like, I've been using the word urine here, but
Yeah.
the fluid has changed so much over the years. My
Mm.
diet has changed so much over the years that it's
Yeah.
just, it's
I don't
been,
like
now
calling
it's,
it
now it's
urine.
shivambu or
Yeah, yeah,
plasma
yeah.
or
Yeah.
orina. It's
Right.
really not, it's not what it was when I began.
Right. It's, yeah, I don't really like that word either because it has the like a bad resonating sound to it, but it seems to, it's kind of like the opening one. It's urine therapy, right? And
Yeah.
as you get more acquainted with your body and acquainted with your living
Yeah.
waters, then it changes your relationship. Because at first, everybody goes through this period of disgust, ugh,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because in a way, then that's a reflection of how you feel about your body
Yeah.
without really knowing that that's how you feel, right? And then as you start to develop that relationship with your body, you start collecting it, you start ingesting it, you put it on your skin. Like here's my routine for anybody that's interested in how we do our practice. So in the morning, I do the collection like midstream, and then I would consume, let's say, at least a half, depending on the day. And I usually keep the rest because I actually bathe in it. So I love that. My skin has changed significantly. The softness, like there's no way a baby's bum is softer than my skin. No, no
Yeah.
way. Like, no way. So, so yeah, so that's my morning routine, and I've also collected my urine from back in November, and now I'm using that for skincare,
Yeah.
and it's I have yet to actually start consuming that because there is, as it evolves and as it ages, there's a different look to it, and then there's a different aromatic smell.
Everything changes.
So
Everything changes.
yes, so I currently am using that for my skin. I also do like Joe was saying earlier, I snort it, so just taking a little bit in and just taking it up
Yeah.
the nose.
Oh my gosh,
Um,
so good for that. You feel that all the way
yeah.
to the back of your head. It's just
Well,
nuts.
the other day
If
I
you have
just
a hard time breathing, if you're having like an seasonal allergy to something
right.
pollen, wow, it's going to open up your airway for you for sure.
And also to add, Joe, is like the allergic reactions to the eyes. If you have itchy eyes, to take your
Mm,
fresh urine, take an eye drop or an eye wash, and you'll see, it will heal you. It will get rid of the itchiness, the dryness, and
and
I
insect bites too. We're coming into, well, I don't know what season it is. Is it
it's spring
spring?
right
Is
now.
it? It
Yeah.
feels like winter out here right now.
It's
But
spring.
um,
Canada. Yeah.
being in Canada and mosquitoes. I mean, even in Asia, whoa, mosquito land.
Oh,
Mosquito bites, insect bites, super powerful. And the
right.
old, the everybody's kind of heard of if you get stung by a jellyfish, you pee on it. Well,
That's
there's
right.
something to that.
Yeah.
And insect bites as well, bee stings. Not just putting it topically for a bee sting for something like that, but actually ingesting it.
Yeah. And it has the I heard it said, I can't remember who had shared that, but like if you get stung by a bee and you have go into anaphylactic shock, or if you get bit by a poisonous snake, a
Mm-hmm.
poisonous spider or anything like that,
Mm-hmm.
there's no need to panic. No
Yeah.
need to go to the hospital. Your body is now, because your blood plasma is actually, like, your urine is flowing everywhere in your body. That's
Mm.
one thing you need to understand, is that it just doesn't collect water and just go into
Right.
right. That's not what that is. When you're eating and when you're doing things, like, your body produces your urine and it circulates in your veins,
Right. It's
and
in your blood. This plasma
it,
is in your blood, so it's
it's
coursing
your
through your
blood.
whole body. Yeah.
That's right. So
Yeah.
your body at that point is now creating the anti-venom of what
Right.
was attacked. So all you need to do is just go and
Yeah.
drink your anti-venom, and your body will not go into anaphylactic shock, or it will reverse the effect of the harm.
Right. Your body wants to be in homeostasis. That's what it's
Right.
trying to do all the time. Your body is
Mhm.
trying to repair itself. It's very intelligent. And so when you get stung by something, or not even that, when you have an emotional experience,
Mm.
any kind of trauma, when you take that fluid back into your body, it's like I call it the drinkable hologram. You're giving your body that information back to itself. So for
Mm.
depression, when you're feeling down, when you take that fluid back into your body's like, oh, like these, it'll provide you with the hormones or whatever it is that you need to feel better.
And to regulate.
So, yeah, whenever something is going on in my life that's like heavy feeling, the more I ingest my waters, the more balanced I feel. And the better the better I'm able to handle it.
Right. Yeah, it
Yeah.
solidifies you. It solidifies.
It's very grounding.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. That was the better word. Um, I find it. I will never go back to not. Yes. Yeah. So as I'm continuing on my day, I will. Every time I go and I need to like to urinate, I will then collect it again and I will loop. It's called looping,
Mm,
and um, I yeah, it's so easy, guys. It's not like it's that difficult,
hmm I
right?
know.
It's
And
not
if you don't want to ingest it, you can always do an enema.
right.
And I
Exactly.
can't believe how old I never did an enema until I started doing this
I
practice.
know. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that I was like, wow, I've been missing out, like
Yeah. And
really powerful.
the great thing about this, like you said earlier, Joe, is you cannot overdose on this.
Mm.
Your body knows exactly what you need. And let's say I had one day where I actually drank absolutely almost every drop, okay? There was a one point in the afternoon when I was drinking, I think I was like two to three cups like that I had expelled. And my body was like, whoa, like I'm done. I don't give me any more, right? And it's not me trying to tell my body. See, in this society today, we've been indoctrinated to be told how to take care of our body, right? Diet's a great example. I remember when I was growing up, and still to this day, they say, eat salt, don't eat salt, eat eggs, don't eat eggs, butter, don't eat butter, right? So they're always throwing stuff, and you need to eat this much a day, you need to have these many vitamins a day, or here's the balance. But everybody is different. So instead of now having to go on the outside of myself to try to figure out the proper combination of absolutely anything, now my body goes, hey, I got
Mm,
you, I know what to do. So you're giving me, just give me the basics, rest, relaxation, and even if you're stressed and even if you're anxious, your body will still love you and, like you said, bring you to the
mm,
homeostasis. So by drinking your living waters,
mm.
that will bring you back into peace and into rest. And you don't have to figure out how much of each that you need. Your body will take what it needs and heal the areas that are much needed for healing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was
And getting sun, I think, is another
Yes.
kind of key. Um, and moving your body, but
Yes.
uh, whatever you want to call it. I don't. I call it body magic. My
Oh,
exercise,
nice.
the getting out in the sun, throwing out the yoga mat, and just being curious
Mm.
about how your body wants to move, and just allowing it to move without any. I don't want to put that's why I like body magic. Just whatever it is, whatever
Right.
movement it is.
Right.
Really
It's
powerful. You're
I like
building that chi
the
energy in your
energy.
body.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I
And
like
when
how
you
you
have
talk.
something super joyful that you do or that really like lights you up, I love to drink that like the next time you cycle, drink that one back. That's like got the happy hormones in it.
That's
You know,
right.
you're
That's right.
giving yourself an extra dose of that feeling.
Right. And I know that some people in the comment section are talking about, if this is going into a veganism cult, I'm out. And
Yeah.
this is not what I've come to understand in this matrix is that we are all different.
Mm,
And just because something like some things veganism resonates with some people and some that it don't, we're not here to tell you what to do with your own body. That's on you. What we're telling you to do is to actually re-ingest the living waters to bring your body back into homeostasis, and you will know what you need to do, and you'll grow into that direction, whether it's one way or the other or both. Like
yeah.
I don't judge people on their
I don't label my diet as
no,
something like there's nothing I allow myself whatever it is that I desire.
right,
Um,
exactly.
and there's things that I know don't sit well in my body anymore.
And that's
That's
exactly what
it.
you need
My
to do.
diet's completely. People are like, "Oh, what's your diet?" I'm like, "Don't just do.
No,
My diet is my diet.
that's right. Right.
It's not something to follow."
But see again,
Yeah.
people are looking for direction. They're looking at, tell me what to do.
Mm,
Well, now
mm.
we're saying, no, we don't really want to tell you nothing. Your body will tell you what to do. It's true.
Yeah.
Like for me, like, and it's hard because we've been always programmed to go on the outside and go, well, what about this and what about that? And we're doing research to find out what best, fruits to eat or meats to cuts of meat or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like you said, your body will tell you and you will evolve. So we don't talk about those types of topics. And if people are at the extremes, love them where they're at. Who cares? What does it matter to you? What does
Yeah.
it matter if somebody is completely carnivore or somebody is completely vegan? What does it matter?
I don't
And
care.
well, and I do
It's
appreciate,
for them. It's
for
for
them,
them.
it's their
Yeah.
truth, right? And I'm
Yeah.
all about truth, but there are certain topics that I just go, you know what? I've learned that we're we have been damaged on a DNA level based on the foods that we eat, the chemicals that we have, and
Oh
the
man, I think this really
vaccinations.
starts at birth actually. The
Exactly.
liver detox sorry. The liver detox that we just did in the book that I just finished reading, and it makes so much sense to me too.
Mm,
At birth, at birth when we were born, and the cutting of the umbilical cord
yes.
so soon after we're born, the umbilical cord is often still like throbbing when they make that cut, and like a third of our blood is still in the placenta
They cut. Yep.
when they cut that. It's
Yep.
just really we're already beginning at trauma,
Yep. Yep.
really.
And anemia is rampant. And why is anemia rampant? Now we know why. Right?
Yeah, so it's really crazy like how yeah, so there's a lot to
There's a lot
unpack.
to unravel. Yes.
Yeah.
And
And
it's
there's things that happen in this. It's not just about detoxing the body on a physical level. This is really when the more you engage with your waters, there's like an emotional trauma that starts to
right.
show itself. And
Mm,
there's like an emotional detox, if
right.
you will, that happens. Like there's a purification process that happens on an emotional level as well. Not very That's not very often spoken about actually, but it's a big part of what we go through in
Yeah.
this therapy is this emotional part of it.
Yeah.
And
And it,
they come at really like interesting. I wasn't ready for it. I did a plasma bath, my very first plasma
yeah.
bath.
Yeah.
I had a huge emotional, it was a real experience
Really
for me.
a release.
Yeah,
A big
huge
release. Yeah.
emotional release. It was like a
Wow.
rebirth experience. Um,
Oh, and was this when you were
yeah.
drinking it, like you were consuming it for a while, Joe? Like when did you
Yeah,
start? What
when
was
I didn't have any inhibitions about going
starting?
like just diving in. I
Yeah.
started with a 3-day fast. That's how I
Right.
started, 3-day plasma fast. I had huge wrist pain at the time. I don't know if you can see that scar.
Okay. Oh yeah,
And,
like this.
and I have another one on this arm. Oh,
Okay. Can't really
anyway,
see here. Okay.
anyway, I
Okay.
I I like traumatized my like heavy lifting, too much heavy lifting. I had a
Oh,
really
okay.
physically demanding career for a long time.
Okay.
And I tore the blood vessels off the lunate bone in both of my wrists. And the
Oh my
doctors
goodness.
that I went to were like, "Oh, you have Kienbock's." They called it Kienbock's disease. And they said, "Well, one of the ways we can help you with this pain is to shorten the radius in your arms." And I went for that. I went for it. And I had
Oh,
radial shortening. That is as painful as it sounds. And now, like, it kind of helped, I guess, but it never really fixed it. And
of course not.
plasma therapy, when I did that 3 day fast, like I was, I was really struggling with my wrists at that point, in a lot of
Mhm.
pain, like sleeping with my arm in between pillows so that it wouldn't move,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
could barely pick anything up. And
Mhm.
in 3 days, I was like blown away by how much. I've never gone back to that level of pain again,
Well,
and
good.
it's just been that was it for me. I was like, whoa, this is something going on here. There's something
Mhm.
very powerful going on here.
Right.
And I haven't looked back. And that was sort of my one of my big wins uh, from engaging with this. And the other thing that I struggled with for a really long time was fluid retention in my legs. I had no
Oh,
definition in my legs. Like, I couldn't see the muscles of my calves
okay. Yeah.
anymore. All this fluid retention, and getting the salt under control in my diet,
Mhm.
and the plasma cycling, like, I have definition in my legs again, which
Nice.
is, I mean, crazy. I was a competitive swimmer. So
Yeah.
I have good strong legs, and it's like, wow, I can actually see them again.
Mm.
And as you clean your diet up, it's interesting. You can experiment with your own body. Like, I won't eat salt for like a week, like none, zero, and then I'll take something with salt in it, and phew, I can
I
see
know.
it in
I
my
can't do it.
legs almost instantly.
Mm-hmm.
Almost instantly, my legs. The next morning, I'll wake up and be like, "Oh, here we go, cankles again." Like, it's just like, verify it for yourself. Find out what it is that your body wants and doesn't want.
That's
It's
right.
really powerful.
Yeah, we're not the ones that are going to tell you how your body's going to react. I have a friend of mine who asked me questions like, "Well, how long do you think it will take for my body to heal XYZ?" I said,
Forever.
I,
For the rest of your life.
yeah, like I said, why are you asking me? Your body will do its thing, right? Because
Yeah.
again, it's the programming. Here,
Yeah.
take these medications or these antibiotics for 2 weeks, and then it will leave. And you know what I mean? They're asking the questions based on the training, right? The indoctrination. So
Right.
your body will do its thing. It will heal what it needs to heal. In the amount of time that it needs it. So every time my body goes into a detox, I don't take anything other than my
No.
urine or
Yeah.
my living waters. I give my body the time now to rest and recuperate. And
Yeah.
back in December, I had this major ear infection, like huge, like locked jaw almost. Like it
Oh
was
my
just
gosh.
absolutely awful. Yeah, and I was putting I'm putting my living waters in my ear canal, trying to get that, and then it was blocked. Oh my goodness, Joe, it was absolutely awful. But I knew that I needed to put myself in a position of rest and allow my body to do its thing. My body is intelligent, it's intelligent design, and it doesn't need anything from the outside to really bring it into healing.
Mm-hmm.
If I just reintroduce and I give back the living waters. And now the practice is to start doing the evolved. And that I am now this is my ick factor. My
Yeah.
like I did it the other day. I snorted a little bit. I think I shared that with you, and it's just like it's just like I did it on one side more than the other, and it's like shooting oregano oil up the nose, like like it was really like strong, and like eyes were watering, and I'm thinking to myself, this is the worst decision I've ever made in my life.
But then somehow it feels good, right? Like
It's
when you're done, you're like, wow, that's, if you do one nose at a time, or like one side, it's like, wow, that's so clear. And you
yeah,
feel your eye feels clear. Like the whole
exactly.
side of your face
Yeah.
feels clear. Even though it was like, as you say, intense, it kind of like
Oh
throws you
yeah.
back in your chair and you
Shock
have to like,
factor. You're
yeah,
like,
yeah,
worst
like you're,
decision ever.
and then you're like, after you recover from that, you're like, wow, that feels good. Now I feel compelled to do the other nostril because it's like
Hey, yeah.
you can feel it. Hey,
Yeah.
you can feel like you can't
Yeah.
not finish the job. Like you're gonna not be able to breathe as well through the other side. It's just
Right.
weird. And you even in your, it's like your brain even feels clear on that side.
Right.
Like it's
Well,
so,
I had a friend of mine actually had said, do this experiment. He's a shamanic healer, a druid. And I
mm,
said, take some of your, because I'm introducing him to that, right? And I said,
mm,
take some of your blood plasma, your living waters, and put it on your third eye.
mm,
And he noticed a difference already just by doing that.
yeah,
So I said, imagine reintroducing it into your body, and then actually making a practice of doing inside and then on the outside.
yeah.
Joe, I want to ask you questions in regards to the age, since this is pretty much a
Mm,
new transition for me, and I know some people that are watching don't have the experience of the living waters, but for
mm,
those of us who are actually into it and are now going into like the aged part of it, the evolved, what
mm.
would you tell someone like me that goes, oh my gosh, it's like it's just the strength, the smell is really and I find it kind of like it's more moisturizing, but it has a residue that's a little bit different. So what would you
Yeah.
say? What would you say to
I,
some people like us?
yeah, I like that. Just Andrew. Welcome, Andrew. It's nice to see you, brother. Beautiful to have you here with us. Shivambu Neti for the win. Totally.
Yeah. Yeah, neti pot. Oh.
Yeah. I mean, that's a great way to start using your evolved plasma is
Mm,
through a neti pot. That's a, I
right.
mean, it's intense, but you can do it.
Well, do you
And
just do
enemas.
the full amount? Like, or do you do like I would think that you would have to do a blend of, let's say, a
You,
third of evolved and
yeah,
the
it's up
rest,
to you. I usually do blend because it's like
right?
what
Because
you
it's
can do straight up
powerful.
aged, but yeah, you better be ready to. That's like getting in the supercar and
Yeah, going from driving like a Chevrolet Impala to a like Formula X car. Like
yeah,
you want to do like just don't go from 0 to 1,000,
yeah.
right off the
But what
bat.
I do now, and actually what I'm drinking right now, this is my morning plasma with some of my aged in here, actually,
Oh,
because
nice.
my morning plasma was super clear and light, so it didn't have like a real strong flavor to it. So then
Right.
I throw some of my aged in there, and it's kind of like I would compare it to putting apple cider vinegar into a glass of water.
Yes,
You
that's
know,
that's a good way to kind of see it because
yeah.
it is fermented. It has the fermented smell and the ammonia. Like I'm just, how long do you in your
Well,
experience?
I, all of our aged plasma is in sealed containers,
Okay.
and then we shake them. Like the age, if you shake them, it seems to enhance the aging process or speed that aging
Oh,
process along
is that right?
somehow. Yeah. And then we crack the lid every time you go to shake it, you crack the lid and let that air exchange.
Right.
Um, and this also helps with the ammonia. It somehow lets
Mm.
it off gas the ammonia more when you shake it.
Oh, that's a great
You
idea.
agitate it and open it. And the more you do that, the less of that ammonia you'll have in that aging.
Oh, good. Well, thank you for that because
And then
Like
as a
wondering about that.
as a final step, so then when after it's after before I go to use the age, so when I'm ready to use one of my aged bottles, I'll bring it out after I'll let it sit for probably a week without at least a week or a few days without being shook without shaking it.
Okay.
And then I'll take it and I'll siphon everything off the top. And because there's sediment, there's a natural sediment. The
Hmm.
plasma cleans itself.
Right.
And this sediment that builds up in the bottom, I leave that. So I siphon it off the top. I used to filter, like use organic paper coffee filters,
Yeah.
but it's very time
Time
consuming.
consuming. Yes.
So I just siphon off the top now, and sometimes I still will filter, but not
Mhm.
all the time.
Well,
And yeah, then it's ready. That's my batch ready to use, and it's like
very cool.
super clear. It's like a fine whiskey.
Right. That's what I have to kind of tell myself that it is, that it's like it's a shot of
Yeah.
alcohol.
Yeah, I don't drink anymore, but
No, me
I kind
neither.
of compare it to that. Like when I take a shot, it's like having a shot of,
Right,
and it
right.
kind of has that same impact. You know, if you take a shot of whiskey, you're gonna feel it. Like,
Well, I just noticed just like when I put it on my skin, like because it has that whiskey smell. Like,
yeah,
and then it like for the first few seconds it has that smell, but then it evaporates, and then I'm like, ooh,
yeah.
do, like
Ooh,
stop.
yeah.
Ooh.
I've actually experimented with my skin being back here in Canada, and in a lot of the places I've been living, the water's been really good actually.
Okay.
And like as far as washing my body with, like
Mm,
not a lot of processing that has
right,
had to happen to the water before I use it.
right.
But here in Montreal, you can feel like the treatment of the
Oh,
water, coming out of your in the distiller. You can see all of that stuff that
gross.
is collecting on the inside. And it's like drying on my skin. I really noticed my
Mhm,
skin was struggling like, and it's cold, so I was having hot
mhm.
showers and my skin was like drying out. So
Yes.
what I've actually started to do this last probably at least over a week now, I've just been sponge bathing at night with my aged, like I'll get a nice big bowl of warm
Mhm.
water, and then I'll put a big glug, like a nice generous glug of aged plasma in there, and wash my body down, and my skin is like
Yep.
so soft now.
Yep. Yep.
So soft. It's
Yeah.
just crazy how what
Yeah.
a difference it makes. And not I don't have like reptile skin on my legs anymore.
Right. So, Joe, for you, like when you're using your aged urine or urine where people are like on their skin, like, what? Oh, well, what if I smell? How do you take
Mm.
care of that? Like for you, I know that your diet is probably a little bit more advanced, obviously, and the smell's probably not there. But for those people who have urine that actually has a smell to it, or they're concerned about when they put it on their skin, what would you recommend for them to do?
Well, I think your body really it doesn't as you say, after it evaporates, after it dries on your skin, you don't smell it. It's not like that. And I mean, this is also part of our body odor, our natural body odor. I think it's
Right.
balancing. Once you start
Mm,
ingesting this into your body and using it topically, you're you're detoxing, and as your body detoxes, not only does the smell of your shavambu change, the smell of you changes because
right.
you don't have all this toxin in you. So be patient
Mm,
with yourself
yes.
in this cleaning process. I We do our laundry with our aged shivambu, and I don't feel like anything smell. People come here, people hug me, and they're like, "Oh, you smell great." Like
Nice.
there's no one that's like even people would have to know that I do this.
Right.
They don't smell it on me. But one of the things um, I mean, there's all kinds of tricks.
Mhm.
I love aromatherapy. So at the beginning, I used some essential oils I'm
Mm.
also addicted to moringa oil. I've been using that for, geez, a decade now on my skin, and I'll like
Oh,
never
right.
give that one up.
Oh,
Yeah, I just actually got to order 5 liters of moringa oil if anybody's interested.
really? Well, we'll put that down in the comment section for people to be know what products that you're using, and the nebulizer too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and some herbs that I've collected. I'll be sharing more about that later. But anyway, so just yeah, one of the things about my laundry that I did in Luang Prabang when we were living there is I just took really nice paper that I got from the craft store, really good quality paper that I use as a drawer liners in my with my clothes, and I would
Mm-hmm.
take my essential oils and mix that with, this is where I use alcohol, mix it with some alcohol, and then I use that as a spray onto the paper to spray the oil onto the paper to
Okay.
infuse the paper, and then I put that paper into my drawer,
Drawers. Yeah.
and that's what the whatever oil, whatever essential oil I wanted to use, that's the scent that got impregnated into my clothes. So
Interesting.
that's how I, like, yeah, just combat it the other way with something
Mm,
pretty.
right. Well, and
Yeah.
that's a great idea. But I like the idea what you just shared about your body kind of then um, the aroma of who you are will
Hmm.
is based on what you do or
Right.
don't,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So,
And all of these things have an effect on us. I think, especially women, where hormones are a big deal as we, I don't want to say age, as we evolve.
yeah.
Getting these perfumes, these artificial perfumes
Mm.
out of our environment is a big deal. Like getting
Mhm.
the laundry soap, the dish, having your hands in that dishwater, in that dish
Mhm.
soap, and all of these scented things that we have in our home have a huge impact on our well-being.
Yeah.
You're breathing those things in. You're putting them against your skin. So the
Yeah.
more natural things that you can get into your immediate environment, the better.
Right.
The better you're going to be, like, on a
Absolutely.
cellular level.
Well, one thing that I would love to actually reverse is menopause. Like I've been in menopause for many years now, and I'm under the impression that as I keep practicing and as I keep walking this walk, that my body will recalibrate because
Hmm.
we're supposed to keep our cycle. We're supposed to. That's a new thing of us not having, going into menopause. Well, that's my
Hmm.
understanding. Anyways, I could be completely wrong, but um, with this practice, I'm looking forward to recalibrating my body and bringing it back into more of a homeostasis, right?
Yeah. And I don't think that you necessarily need to menstruate in order to get yourself out of,
Oh, good.
or you know what I mean? I don't think that
Better.
I, I don't know. I don't think there's like yeah, there's like so much unknown, but I
Well,
don't
that
think
was
that
my
that's,
understanding. That's like I shared. This is where I'm at. I'm never always solidified on one thing. Like, well, the living waters thing is solid, but like
well,
how,
yeah, that when
yeah,
something gives you that much results, it's
yeah.
hard to ignore.
Right, right. But I guess that's kind of like, I guess that's what I'm kind of looking for, an outcome I'm looking for. But at the end of the day, my body knows what it needs. So
Right.
if at first, so I'm again, see, look what I just did. I tried to dictate to myself how my body should behave.
Right.
Oh, I just caught myself. I stop doing that. Yeah, and let my
No,
body.
it's like good for you. You
Oh
caught
yeah, okay,
yourself.
yes, that's great. I caught myself. But see how deep that programming goes.
Hmm.
Like you're looking for a
Yeah.
specific outcome. Like as an example, people are like, oh, how much energy will I gather? Like when I was going through a lot of healing process, I had hired a naturopath, and that was my first thing to know, okay, am I doing better based on the energy levels that I had?
Hmm.
And she had to remind me that it's not just that. It's like, notice, did you had less stress, weren't as anxious, and it was like, oh yeah.
And sometimes you're gonna, well, not often, your body is going to detox. So you're going to feel sick before you feel
Right.
better. Like you
That's
need to
right.
liberate something out of the body in order to feel better. And that's
Mhm.
going to come out like with my nebulizer. Now I have like chunks of stuff coming out. Like
Wow.
that that's
That's
good.
amazing. But that's just amazing at the
Like
same
we
time, you know.
want these things to come out. It's like doing a liver detox.
Yes,
And you want to see that come out of your body. And it
that's right.
is, we all hold these toxins in our body and they're all going to come out in all different ways. So expect to not feel,
The best.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna, yeah.
Yeah, I'm on that journey right
And
now.
don't worry about that. When I first started and I had my detox expression, I had so much mucus come out of my body, and this
Really?
that was at the very beginning. And this old programming came in. They're like, "Oh, now you're sick,
Oh, yeah.
and this
It's so
thing that you're doing is making you sick."
mm-hmm.
That was like this old programming happening. And then I was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! Wait a minute.
That's right.
That's not what's going on. My body's detoxing, and this
It's not,
medicine that I'm taking is pushing this toxin out of my body.
yeah.
And that's what's going on
Yeah.
all
Better
the
out.
time. And
Yeah.
sometimes it's more subtle than others, and we are unaware of it. And that's when people are like, "Oh, I don't know if it's making me better or if I don't feel any different." Your body knows. Your
Exact.
body knows.
Again, it's not trying to run your body based on the training that you have in your head,
Yeah.
because that's we want to always override. Oh, I have to eat 5 times a day. I have to drink 8 cups of water a day.
Oh my
I have to,
gosh.
I have to, I have to. And then when you start to realize why those sayings have been thrown on you, you kind of go, oh my God. You know, like when
Yeah.
I found out about why the whole 8 glasses of water a day was thrown into society was because of the filtration of the water and the fluoride. They wanted you to be fluoridated,
Yeah, consume. They
consume
wanted you
8
to
glasses
consume
of
that.
water a day back in the day when it was coming from the tap, so that
Yeah,
you would get full of fluoride to calcify your pineal gland. And
yeah,
also, water actually brings aging because of the high oxygen levels. It's oxidation of the body, and oxidation of the body brings you to age. I'm not saying don't
yeah,
drink any water. That's not what I'm saying, but it's like we have to be mindful that not everything that we've been told is always to our benefit.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
what kind of water we put in our bodies is a big deal to our bodies. Our bodies are like a battery.
that's right.
So, and what kind of water do we put in a battery? H2O, pure,
Pure,
pure
yeah,
water.
pure water. That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's there's a lot.
not any other things in it.
Oh, well, now you're going to strike up a conversation of no, you need to have this and that. And, and that's people do their own research, people figure it out. We're sharing exclusively about how your body needs to have its own living waters
Mm.
reintroduced within. And don't necessarily take our word for it, although we'd love for you to take our word for it for that.
Well, we'd love for you to be curious
Yeah,
enough to know for learn for yourself or know for yourself or feel for
right.
yourself.
Feel for yourself, and you'll see
Yeah.
your own testimonies. Your body will respond to it.
Yeah.
This is a lifelong thing. It's like people are like, well, how long should I be doing this for? I'm like, do you eat every day? How long should you? So if you ate today, you don't need to eat for another what 6 years, right? I don't know why people ask that. Sorry, that's a stupid question. I hate that question. It's like, how long do I have to do this for? For the rest of your life, like, because you're constantly being attacked. You're constantly fighting against things in nature, or things that not things in
Just the
nature.
food that you eat.
That's
The
right.
food that you eat. Just that.
That's right.
That's
And
like a
not
the more clean every time I do a fast, it's so revealing. You feel so much more energy in my body and so much lighter and able to do things. And whenever I put something into my body, it's like your body takes energy to have to deal
To deal with
with
it. Mhm.
whatever that is.
Right. Right.
So
Do you fast often, Joe? Like, what's your like? Or you
I
just
haven't
let?
done a fast in a while, and we're starting one actually now. And I've said
Oh,
that a few times, but so I've done. I guess I've been doing a lot of short fasts, but
okay.
I miss the longer fast. My body's really ready for it. I haven't. It's been a while since I've done one. Uh,
Hmm.
just this last year. Well, yeah. I guess it's yeah. I randomly I've been fasting,
Good.
but always fasting gives me results every time, no matter how long it is, short, long, whatever. I always feel better.
Right.
There's always a huge win
Right.
with fasting. So I've done 3 day is like sort of, I would call that a short fast.
Hmm.
And the longest I've gone is 36,
36.
36
That's
days.
amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
I've done 17.
And
So,
after 36 days, I was like, well, you just, food is different to you after you've fasted
oh yeah,
that
it tastes
long.
completely different too.
And yeah, you kind of never go back. At some point, you never go back to the way I eat has changed so much over the years. It just
Right.
blows my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful
I've
thing.
done all kinds of different diet fad cult things like
Me too.
Atkins or
Hmm.
whatever. But yeah, just I there's a lot to the Ayurvedic way. Uh, I find myself going to those texts and reading about that diet.
Okay. And for those of us who may are not familiar with that, Joe, what's the Ayurvedic text and stuff? What is it that you can glean from
Well, it's
that?
basically like food is your medicine, and
Right.
like clean vegetarian. I'll call it vegetarian because
Hmm.
their ghee is a big part of Ayurvedic cooking.
Nice.
So there is some animal in there, and they do fermented like kefir.
Yep.
Milk is a part of that. Uh, I mean, even they use eggs, but my body really is not a fan of
Hmm.
eggs. When you fast and then you start to reintroduce food to you again, I think the slower you reintroduce the foods, the better you're going to understand what your body enjoys to
Right.
eat.
Hmm.
And the
Yep.
more I love food, I love cooking, I love the smells, all of that. So the and I love that in my body too with my own waters. I love it when my water is clean and
Right.
smells nice and is pleasant to drink. And so when you find that balance of your diet and your plasma,
Right.
and just to stay on that as long as possible and not get tricked by um, the the chemical onslaught of these fast
Right.
foods um,
Yes.
and stuff like that. That it's food is an addiction. Food is a drug,
Yep.
really, to me.
Exactly. It is.
So I try to really treat it like that. Like
Yeah. I've been to the extreme
yeah,
where I found out about breatharianism and how you could just survive on your living waters. And but that'll be a topic for another day
yeah.
because
There's
that's
one to
going into
unpack.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, well, it's
Breatharianism is a very interesting subject
yeah,
that I loved to discuss, actually.
yeah.
Yeah, and then we get into sunlight and body movement and where the energy is actually coming from.
I
Uh,
would love that. And I know that
yeah,
you and Olivier talk about that stuff on X. So what we'll also do is
hmm
we'll
yeah. We
also
haven't done a space there in a long time.
is
It's
that
time to
right?
let. Yeah, we've.
You took a
Um,
break?
yeah, just the move, this last move, and
Right.
yeah, we haven't been back on in a while.
Well, it'd be a good
Yeah.
idea when you guys are going to do that to let us know, because I felt that those were really good conversations
Yeah,
to.
and actually, you know what? More than that, what I would like to start doing is, and I actually did that with this call, although we only shared it in the community like 30 minutes before it was happening.
Yeah, yeah.
But these calls, I'm opening them up to the community to
Hmm.
in our Telegram Mother Spirit chat. So if people want to join in the panel, like with you
Right.
and myself today, you others could have joined in. I opened it up. So
Right.
whenever anyone in the community, like Joanne, wants to engage in a conversation, just takes one person to get the ball rolling, and I'll start the
Yeah.
live, and other people can in the community can follow the link and join in, so we
Yeah.
can have the conversation here.
Yes, because then other people will be able to see that we are not the only ones that are doing this. There are other
Yeah.
people in their journeys and understanding, and maybe have like testimonials, having people
Yes.
share what's been their walk. Because if you
Yeah.
need to hear more about other people and their journey, why not have this
Oh,
space with
it's
them?
super
It's a great idea.
valuable.
Yeah,
I've learned so much
me
from
too.
sharing in community and hearing what other women and men are going through, and it's really valuable to have that more like a broad range of different
Exactly.
people and their experiences and what they're doing, and yeah,
Yeah, yeah, and
super awesome. And I love it when they're like when others in the community are doing fasts and sharing what
yes.
they're one of the women uh, in our community, Mother Spirit community and Telegram, she just did a dry fast, like I can't remember now, 7 days, something dry
Oh,
fast. And it was like the easiest dry fast she'd ever done with like the most amount of energy. I was just like, wow,
like dry fast,
so
no,
cool.
no living waters, or like
Dry fast is dry, like you're not
dry. Well,
taking
I've done two
anything.
days of dry, and it's like
Yeah.
amazing how you have to really, you notice how you're always reaching out to put something in. It's like, oh my gosh, how do people do this?
Yeah. Yeah, for dry fasting, I would say if anybody just as a this is one of the things dry fasting is real. I would say, in my opinion, it's really important that you have a make sure your bowels are really freely moving and clean before you start a dry fast. You don't want that congestion in your intestinal tract when you start a
Oh,
dry fast. So there's yeah, and that this is what's so great about people sharing their experiences.
mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm really, we don't even need to worry about medical terms or anything like that. We're not, we don't even need to worry about apologizing, about warning people, oh, this isn't medical advice. No, this is our own experience. We're sharing our own
Yeah,
experiences uh,
that's right.
in community, and that is really how we share. We've always shared knowledge that way
Yes.
and learned from each other what works and doesn't work. And yeah,
Yeah.
super
Well, I
powerful.
always I always love having conversation with you, Joe, in respects to this. And I know some of the
Yeah.
people on my YouTube were looking for more information, and they love for us to have these conversations. And I think that that's something that's very important, to have more consistent conversations in respects to this.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to join us on the panel, yeah, our Mother Spirit, the
Yes.
Mother Spirit Telegram is, or on X.
Yes.
I'll share the link there too in the community,
Yeah. And join
and
us.
yeah, and join our conversations here on the panel.
Yeah, absolutely. And I always appreciate, Joe, what you have to share in the community. You are full of wisdom and insight, and
Oh,
we appreciate your
thanks.
experience, you and Olivier, what you guys are doing there. And I always want to help people that are in within that mindset to be be discovered a little bit more, because you do have great things to share with people. This is life saving, actually, life saving
Yeah,
stuff.
there's people in my close circle that this has had a life-saving impact with.
Yes.
I know
Yeah.
from my own experience. Yeah. I feel like it saved my life. Like
Yeah.
the even though I was really conscious about my health and and like always trying to eat well and all of that good stuff and doing the right things, but plus this has
Yeah.
made
Oh,
such a I
yeah.
just taken my health to a place I never even knew that my body was capable of providing for me. It just
Right.
really has blown me away. Very liberating. Hey, I have like
Mhm.
no more. I'm not a. I there. I don't even feel like I the need to prep for anything,
Oh, me
um,
neither. Done.
except for having my prepping is having bottles of plasma aging in my
It's true. It
in
brings
my
you to a
space.
place
That's
of
it. That's
peace.
prepping for me. But it's
Yeah.
really liberated me of
Yes.
this fear of lack.
Yes. Because our
Hmm.
bodies can and will provide every single thing that we absolutely need. And once people come to that understanding that they are really beautifully and wonderfully made,
Hmm.
it
Yeah.
changes
Yeah,
you.
this is the spiritual journey
Yeah.
now for myself. It's really
Hmm.
taken me into my back into my spiritual journey that I was on before that I kind of lo- like lost
Right.
that path for a while.
Right. And for
So,
me, it's reclaiming back my authority because in the
hmm.
religious camps that I was in, it was always about me abdicating responsibility or abdicating my authority. And
Mm.
now it's to
Yeah,
reclaim.
we gave our responsibility away for a while.
That's right.
Yeah,
And that's right. And now it's
yeah.
however your journey is, my journey is. And by sharing our stories, I really do hope that it's ringing true for a lot of people.
Mm.
And we really want to
Yeah.
encourage everybody to give this a shot. Give yourself a shot. Give
Mm.
yourself your own medicine,
Hmm.
your own living waters. And I can assure you, between Joe and I, you will see a big difference.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, if you want to experiment on your plants, that's also a really good way to
There you go.
begin. Collect it and start fertilizing your garden with it, and you will be surprised. Yeah. So
All
if
right.
anyone is interested in checking, there's my website link there, humphreys.cream.net. And as I already said, Mother Spirit is our Telegram chat or Telegram group.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, we're gonna do a motherspirit.cream.net soon. It's not up yet, but
Good.
yeah, and on Twitter we have a Mother Spirit community too. So we'll
Right.
be keeping those two informed, and people can join us here. And JoJo Talks is
Yes.
her YouTube.
Yeah.
And you're also you're pretty active on Facebook as well, but
Absolutely. Yeah. People can
yeah.
always look for me there and
Yeah,
participate.
or in the Mother Spirit Telegram group, and you can have
Yeah.
direct contact with her there if you want.
Absolutely. For us
Yeah.
too, right? For both of us. And
Yeah.
we are always looking for people to join us in this journey
Mm.
to healing and restoration. So we look forward to seeing you there.
Thanks for joining me again, Jojo. It's really great
Yeah.
to have you.
Okay. Thanks, Joy. I always appreciate your time.